We ready, Alan? Well, good evening. We'd like to welcome everyone out this evening to the 2020 Clinch County Farm Bureau Political Forum. I'm Barry Smith, Clinch County Farm Bureau President. On behalf of myself, the board, directors, and all the employees of Clinch County Farm Bureau and the members, we'd like to thank all of our participants for being here with us, all of our candidates for county offices. And we're going to kind of skip over a lot of the introductions and all like that and just get straight into it. Our first group of candidates we have up here, we have for the candidate of probate judge and a board of education. And we'll give each of y'all 30 seconds to introduce yourself, and then we'll get started with the questions. We'll start right here with Mr. Will Joyce.
Will Joyce. I lived here all of my life, all except for the few months that I went to South Georgia College over in Douglas. I'm married to Monica Smith Joyce. We have two daughters, Micah and JJ. I am a member of New Vision Church of God and currently serve on the Pastor's Council there. Also, I'm a Sunday school teacher there at for the teenagers and serving mission trips down in South America, down in Ecuador.
I'm Kimberly Smith. I've born and raised here in Clinch County. I'm married to John Smith for 24 years. We have 3 daughters and 1 granddaughter. And I don't know what else to say.
All the way up on the mic.
Hello, I'm Joanne Lacey. I'm married to Alexander Lacey. I have 2 daughters, Taylor and Tyra Lacey, which graduated from Clinch County High School. I'm a member of Lighthouse Assembly of God, and I'm looking forward to running for Post 2 Board of Education, and thank you.
All righty, and since we got the microphone and all that in, we'll start with our board of education first. To our 2 candidates for board education, what steps will you take in the future to help ensure the protection of our children?
First of all, I believe each child is important to our school system. So I think that we need to take each child as one, and we need to investigate which we do an investigation, but we need to do a further investigation into our hiring. And we need to just make sure that we hire someone we need to make sure that we hire somebody that that's gonna do the best for our children.
Can you repeat the question?
What steps will you take in the future to help ensure the protection of our children?
I think the most important thing is to provide a great atmosphere, a positive atmosphere for our children, so they feel comfortable, but also provide a good atmosphere for our staff and our employees, so everybody's working toward a common goal, and they feel like they're needed, they feel like they're loved and in a respected place where they can get a great education, and parents can get a good return on their investment for their children.
Thank you very much. And I forgot our timekeepers right here on the front row. They'll be giving you with your time with you 45, 30, 15, and time seconds. All right, we'll move on to probate judge. What are your qualifications? What do you feel qualifies you to be the probate judge?
I have worked with Carlene Oberry for 9.5 years. I have handled magistrate, probate, and traffic courts, as well as vital records, weapons carry license, and just being a clerk altogether for all 3 courts. And, I mean, there's a lot to learn, and I'm willing to my best to do everything I can.
Anytime that there's an elected official that's retiring, and a new person is going to fill it, that position is going to be of on-the-job training. I've never really had a problem with training, as I've been through the fire academy, I've gone through EMT school, I've gone through paramedic school. Even when I took over as the EMA director, I had on-the-job training that I had to do at that time. And currently I'm working on my bachelor's degree in education. So training and education is not really a problem to me, and this job is going to require a lot of on-the-job training, which I look forward to doing.
All right, thank you. Next question, we'll move back to the Board of Education. What do you see as any current challenges concerning our public school system?
Current challenges, and the number one is children with cell phones. We got to get their attention back. We rely so much on them, and they rely so much on them, and it seems like just a cell phone are taking a lot of their attention span and getting those hopefully out of their hands for a little while so they can get back to getting education. Another challenge is keeping good qualified personnel. We need the best available people, and to provide them a great working condition and provide the staff with all they need. And if we can get them all they need and a good working relationship with our community, then we can pass that on to our children, and our children can only succeed from there.
First of all, our teachers have got to be able to listen to the parents some, because there's classes that our teachers that they need to take, and they're not familiar with the classes that they need to take, especially with our autism children. I've been visiting the school, so I'm very interested in our artistic area, because when a child comes and he has problems, that teacher has got to be able to address all the problems that child has and get that child to the best of their ability, because all we want is that child to do their best and achieve where they need to go in life.
Thank you. Move on next back to probate judge. If elected, what improvements or changes will you make as probate judge?
The only change that I would want to do is Skype, as far as when we do our bond hearings, so we won't have to be face-to-face with them. And we can also do warrants via cell phone. And I think that's the only change that I would make.
Really, you say what changes would you make? Miss Carlene O'Berry had been in that office for many years and never ran opposed. So, that says a lot, that she's done a lot of good in that office. I do agree with the possible of Skype. Another thing is Zoom, using for Zoom meetings to have these hearings, and that way you're not meeting face to face, especially with the COVID-19 that's going on right now. Technology would be the biggest change that you would look at making in that particular office.
All righty. Speaking of that, back to the Board of Education. With COVID-19 and the early closures of the schools, what are your thoughts on the future of online learning in our rural community?
Online learning in here is going to be, of course, difficult due to our internet capabilities. I live on the edge of town, and my internet is subpar at best. So that will be a big challenge, and I think hopefully that going through this, folks in Atlanta and our elected representatives have seen this. So that's one thing, and then being able to, if you're going to learn off-site like this, making sure our parents and our grandparents and aunts that are helping facilitate the training, that are able to do that, and not not let anything slide through. You know, it's better to me to be able to teach as a group in a school with professionals, but we have to make do, as in with this situation, we've had to. And I commend our folks that they've done a fantastic job having to do this on the fly, and I could see in the future, I'm sure they'll be better prepared.
Well, first of all, our school has got to learn the capability that they have, because after looking at the news, different counties have did different things, like they took the bus and put internet on the bus for the children that didn't have internet in their area. So Clinch County's got to kind of come to the ball and help our children get where they need to go, because I think we didn't go the extra mile for our children. If we have to go to online learning, we have got to get on the ball and find out all the programs that we can give to our children.
All right, thank you. Last question for the probate judge. Our crackpot team of question askers, we researched on this, and we are pretty sure we weren't able to come up with one. Come up to find if this was if we had one or not. Says, but do you believe that there should be a marshal or constable to carry out the actions of the court, such as repossessions, or do you feel things are fine as they currently are?
I feel like they're fine the way they are.
I would have to say I'm a supporter of the Second Amendment. I feel like they're fine the way they are. I mean, I have a concealed carry or a Georgia carry license now. A deer hunt. I mean, I don't see how you can infringe upon those Second Amendment rights on your folks.
All right, our final question for the Board of Education. What will you do to take claims or complaints from students or staff more seriously when first reported?
Well, hopefully we'll utilize chain of command. They would go to the teacher first. If they didn't feel like they got the response they deserve, we'll go to the principal. And if you don't get the response, go to the superintendent. And if they didn't, you know, you would hope they would never have to bring it to you, but that's what we're there for, to represent citizens. So you would definitely want to go back to the superintendent, start up top, start with your chain of command and work through that and try to help facilitate that. We don't want to do too much. We're there for policy and procedure to help facilitate that and work on budgets. You know, we need to let the professionals do what they can and let their training carry them.
Well, Clinch County, they dropped the ball this time on that, because I have had complaints and I have went and talked to the principal and I haven't gotten any answers. I have had to go to the superintendent, and I still haven't gotten any answers. So therefore, we have got to listen. That's why I'm saying it doesn't matter what child it is. If that child make a complaint, we need to write it down. We need to research it. We need to get the information that needed, and we need to do what we need to do for that child. Clinch County really failed our children on this situation.
All right, thank you very much. Well, this concludes our first portion of the political forum tonight. We'd like to thank our candidates, and we'll take a quick little break, and we'll come back in just a few minutes with our county commission candidates.
Camping World of Valdosta, located in Lake Park, is your one-stop destination for all your camping needs. Stop by to see your dreams of quality time with your family become a reality. Whether it's tailgating with your air-conditioned camper, taking a trip to the mountains or beach with your family, or driving your motorhome to a faraway destination, Camping World has it all. Let us put you and your family in a camper for as little as $99 per month. And remember, when you buy a camper from Camping World of Valdosta, you receive a free Elite Good Sam membership, roadside assistance, and travel assist for 1 year.
And then along came Walker Jones. You know Walker Jones is the automotive superstore. But did you know we're also the Super Service Center? That's right. With more than 56 bays, Walker Jones does as much service on all major brands as all the other service centers in town combined. And we're loaded with experienced professional ASC certified mechanics to get the job done right the first time.
Hey, I'm Jim, coming down to see us for service at the home of the lifetime warranty. Lifetime.
Homerville Jewelers on East Dame Avenue is your headquarters for bridal and baby registry. If you're looking for that special gift for the bride and groom or that perfect gift for the new baby, look no further. We also have a variety of diamonds, gold, sterling silver, watches, and necklaces, and can perform jewelry repair. No need to shop out of town. We can supply all of your gift and jewelry needs. Let Vicki Young and staff serve you at Homerville Jewelers, East Dame Avenue, Homerville.
Hi, I'm David Johnson, pastor at Trinity Baptist Church. One thing is for sure, you cannot trust who you do not know. How do I get to know Jesus? By staying in God's Word and developing an everyday prayer life. It'll make all the difference in the world.
At Burt CPAs, helping small businesses with their accounting needs is our business. We have offices in Homerville, Waycross, Alma, and Baxley. Burt's professionals are ready to serve you no matter your location. We are your team for accounting, bookkeeping, tax, and financial advice. In Homerville, call firm partner Adam Toll, 912-490-7142. Mike's Golf Carts and Power Sports in Douglas has the cheapest prices in South Georgia and a huge inventory of new and used gas and electric golf carts and off-road vehicles. Mike's also has parts and accessories and proudly serves customers across the states of Georgia, Florida, and Alabama. Whether you stop into our store or shop with us online, we have everything you need for Can-Am, E-Z-Go, Club Car, and Yamaha. 0% financing available for qualified customers. Mike's Golf Carts and Power Sports in Douglas, Georgia. Dairy Queen is a proud part of our local communities and is cheering our sports teams on to championship seasons. Drop by before and after the game to say hello to Mr. Ash and his entire crew and enjoy the full Dairy Queen menu, including our famous grilled burgers, artisan-style sandwiches, and chicken strips. Cool off with our renowned smoothies, slushies, malts, and iced coffees. Try our fabulous desserts and take an ice cream cake home for that special occasion, or just to treat the family. Dine in or take out at Dairy Queen locations in Homerville, Blackshear, Folkestone, and Fernandina Beach. See you at the DQ.
All right, we'll get started with our second round here with the county commissioners, and we'll start right there with Mr. J.E. Witherspoon. We'll let him introduce himself and say what he needs to say and move along.
Yes, I'm J.E. Witherspoon. I'm married to Minnie Witherspoon. I have 2 children, Deidre and little J.E. Did I miss something?
No, I mean, just, just anything you want to say or whatever, anything like your platform or, which post you're running for or.
Yes, I'm running for post 3, commissioner for post 3. My platform is that the most critical thing that we need in this county at this time is industry and small businesses. But let me say this to you. That's easily said than done. There's 159 counties in the state of Georgia. We're one of 159. Every one of them is competing for the same thing we are. So we got to be aggressive. We have to go at it. We have to be prepared. Our industrial park has to be to the point where there's no question. Water, electrical, sewage, anything, good roads, these must be in place before other industries will consider Clinch County.
Me, Barry? Yes, sir. Oh, Roger Metz. I'm currently the Post 3 representative on the county commission, and I think we got a good thing going. We got good equipment. We got good people working for us, and I don't see a whole lot of changes that we need to make. Thank you.
Chad Brown, I'm the Post 2 County Commissioner of Clinch County. We're running for re-election. It's like Roger said, I mean, everything's working good. We got a good board. We all work together. And that's it.
Hi, I'm Henry Moreland. First off, I believe in Jesus Christ and serve him first with what I do. I'm married to Bonnie Moreland and have 2 children, 2 grandchildren. We lived here all of our life. I've served this community as a teacher, as a coach, as a assistant principal, superintendent 9 years here in this county and 2 in Stewart County. I love serving people and love serving Clinch County. That is my most important job right now. And I can assure you no one goes unnoticed in this county.
All right, well, thank you much. Well, we'll start off with the questions, and we can't have a county commission forum without asking about the roads, so we'll go ahead and start off with the roads. What is your opinion of the current maintenance department with roads and any other maintenance that they do as far as the county, and do you see any room for improvement within those departments?
Certainly, improvement is something we can always do. All of us can improve in whatever we do. Personally, I'm very pleased with our road system we have in Clinch County. I think our road department and Stephen Hendricks does an excellent job in keeping our roads. I know I spend a lot of time working bees outside of the county and in different counties where they have the county roads are no comparison to our county roads in this county. As I work through those counties, one of the biggest things that's happened to us over the last couple of years is that the region passed a T-Splost, and T-Splost will bring $39 million into this county, and where we only are going to take and raise $6 million. So we are doing very well with our roads. We got a lot of paving and resurfacing going on throughout the county. Thank y'all very much.
Concerning the roads throughout the county, at this present time, they're in good shape. As far as improvement, there's always room for improvement, because that's the name of the game. We will always continue to try to improve, and any other aspect, bridges or anything else concerning the road department or what. The personnel that are presently working with the road department are fine individuals, and I look forward to working with them as well.
Our road department, we got 10 people working in it. We got 4 new graders, we got a brand new dump truck. All of it's under lease, we're up to date. We got great equipment. We got a new bulldozer. We got a great all. We're in good shape with our road department. And if somebody needs a road fixed, all they got to do is call. And we try to get to it that day if it's not 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Thank you.
I say we got a great road superintendent. We got good county employees with the road department. I mean, there's always things we could do better, but I got to say that our roads are probably some of the best around in the state of Georgia.
Thank you. We'll keep it down there on that end. We'll start and we'll bring it back down. And this, I know some of y'all addressed this in the opening statement. What do you think could be done to encourage new industry and business to come to Clinch County?
I think we're always looking for ways to bring new industry into our county. Of course, one of the problems that we have is our labor force. We are very, very, very blessed to have people like Lee Container and Mauser and Connors Woodyard, the hospital, the school system. We have some large employees already here. I think what we need to do in this county, we always need to be looking for smaller industry that would come in that maybe employ up to 25 people. And I think that we can provide that. We're always looking for ways to improve and give people in this county a greater chance to find a better job and to be able to improve themselves and improve their standards of living. And that's very difficult to do because everybody's looking for somebody to come in. And like I said, we do a good job. We got fine industrial parks that have done well, and we have places that we can take and allow people to come into.
For other industries to locate here, we have to be very aggressive. We've got to go after them. They're not coming to you. We want them, and they would like to be here, but it's got to be under the understanding that we are prepared for them before they get here. The industrial park must be of excellence. Like I repeated before, it must have the services that every industry needs. They come in there and they do surveys to see if we will have the workforce that will accommodate them. And at this point, I think we've got the workforce here that will support any industry that may come. Thank you.
I am on the Industrial Authority, and you're welcome to any of our meetings, as in the paper. There's nobody that works any harder than the people on that authority to get help of some kind of industry here. Y'all just don't know what a job it is. And we got to have housing for people to live in if they're going to commute and come in here. So, you know, I'll agree. We need some industry, and we got a good industrial park on the east and the west side of town. Thank you.
I mean, I agree with too. We need more industry, and I think we got the right bunch on Industrial Authority, but they're doing all they can do. And I mean, at this time, I don't think there's a lot of industry looking to come to Clinch County because, like I said, we got a great bunch on there just working for it.
All right. Next question said, if new resources were to become available, what is one area of county services that you feel like needs the most additional attention?
Okay, new resources is going to be difficult because in the month of April, I think the state of Georgia in itself is looking at $1 billion shortfall. And talking with our representatives this past week, talking to most of them, they're going back into session just as soon as they can. And their main emphasis is going to be trying to figure out where they're going to make the cuts. I think the governor's already told each department to cut 14% from their budget for this next year. So certainly resources are something that we're always looking for, difficult to come about. One thing I've been very proud of that we've done over the last 8 years as I've been in office, the county has not raised their millage rate one bit. But yet we have increased our fund balance to take and help us to be able to take and operate this county without any extra cost to the taxpayers from the county. And that's very important to me, is being able to hold taxes, because the taxpayers already have had enough pressure put on them trying to survive from day to day. Thank you.
We've got some of the finest resources in the state of Georgia right here in this little community. We got a major railroad that goes through here. We're soon to have 2 4-lane highways, 84 and 441. We've got an airfield out here that will accommodate commercial airlines. At this time, we need to start utilizing all these resources. One of the resources that we are not at this time utilizing to what I expect it should be We've got thousands of vehicles that pass through this city every day. And in those vehicles, these are customers. But you have to have businesses and other things in order for them to stop. We're not taking advantage of the personnel that are coming through this city. And I hope that in the future we will.
We do have some great resources, and we try to capitalize on them on a day-to-day basis. We need small businesses, and we need a workforce to take care of those small businesses. We got to concentrate more on getting jobs for 25 or 30 people, just like we did with the industrial authority. If we don't do that, we're sinking. And I don't want that to happen. I would do anything to help this county. Thank you.
Well, like I say, we got great resources, and like what Henry said, our millage rate hadn't been raised in 13 years. It's still at 10.953. But we do need more industries here, and small businesses, and just like Jay was saying, people coming through, they could spend more money here if we had more businesses.
All right, last question, and this is one that'll kind of flow over when we get into the sheriff candidates too. What is your opinion of the current situation with the county jail, I guess, as it relates to the, budgeting and whatever else?
Right, the county jail has become a big issue. When the sheriff approached us back several years ago about the jail, he was concerned about being able to be able to keep prisoners in jail. You know, your jail is supposed to be able to keep them inside. And so we were having a hard time keeping prisoners there, and that brought about the safety of those that were around. When we talked about this, we looked at, I think it was about $1 million what it was going to cost to bring the jail up to date. Then the question I had was, so like teaching what the student-teacher ratio, I asked her what the jailer to prison ratio is. And what I was told was that the recommendation was 1 to every 8 to 10. And so when you start figuring 1 to every 8 to 10, I got to hurry. 1 to 8 to every 10, that's 16 jailers. You're talking about pushing the budget out of sight, is what you're talking about. You have to hire 16 people to go in and do that. Feed them, do all these things. For $35 a day, you can't do any better than $35 a day housing a prisoner.
I'm not extremely happy with the fact that we're housing prisoners in Douglas. I think the cost factor is way above what we should be paying. When you think about the excess of $200,000 above, that's an extremely large amount of money. I don't like the idea that the jail is in the heart of this city. It should never have been put in the heart of this city. The courthouse is the central issue. It's the nucleus of Clinch County. If we do build a new jail, I want us to put it outside the city limits. I want it to be somewhere where there's room for expansion, but this needs to be addressed by the commission, and I hope this issue comes up if I'm on board, because I certainly want to have a decision as to the jail issue.
The jail issue has been discussed at length 3 times at the county commissioners meeting. And you just put it on paper. If we build a jail, which would be from $5 to $8 million, we don't know what the cost is now. We have looked into it. But you're talking at least $600,000 a year to hire your people, have them there, feed them, medical. You got to have a nurse there and a doctor on call. It's just a big thing, you know. And the best choice we had when we did it, or when Raymond did it, was to go to Douglas or Waycross or Valdosta, and Douglas would take them the cheapest. Thank you.
Yeah, when all this come up, it was going to cost us $1 to $2 million to fix the jail we have now, and $5 million to build a new one. So it's $25 a day when we first started going to Douglas, and now it's $35, I think. I'm in favor of building a new jail if we could do a tri-county jail with the other 3 counties that's in with the 911. But and we'd have to get some kind of grants to try to build one here in Clinch County on our own. Right now, the best thing for us is to send them to Coffee County, because like I said, we got to have more jailers. Plus we got to have a contract with a nurse or a doctor. So that's it.
Let's hold it right there. We'll come back this way. That was our last question for our county commission, and we'll. I didn't do it with the first group, but they looked like they was in a quick to get out of here anyway. So we'll give y'all another last 30 seconds if y'all got anything else y'all want to say. You know, final appeal or whatever.
Well, like I said before, I'm Chad Brown. I'm running for post 2 county commissioner re-election. I've enjoyed serving Clinch County post 2 for the time I've been here, and I would love to continue to serve Clinch County.
This is my second term on post 3. I've enjoyed every minute of it. I've looked after the taxpayers' money as well as anybody, I guess, could. I just don't like to spend somebody else's money. But I appreciate the cooperation I've had out of the other county commissioners and the people of the county. And I appreciate it, and I would appreciate your vote and put me back in for 4 more years.
When I spoke about resources earlier, one of the greatest resources that we have and that we lose. They're born here, they're educated here, and because of lack of opportunities here, we lose our best minds. That's sad, because so many of them want to stay here, but they have to leave because there's not enough opportunities here available to them. And I hope in the future that new industry and small businesses will locate here, and therefore they'll have a chance to remain home.
Okay, I want to end by thanking Georgia Farm Bureau and Creek Box and WBTY and Clinch County News for being here, for sponsoring this, and giving the people of this county an opportunity to hear what the candidates have to say. I don't have a whole lot more. I love to serve this county. I love the people of this county, and I will continue to serve this county as I always have. And just ask the voters of Post 5 that they will continue to trust me and to believe in me and vote for me on June the 9th. Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen. We'll take another little quick break and let our county commission candidates get down, and let our sheriff candidates get up here for our final round.
Lutz, Brown, Pigler, and Manley Insurance Agency is locally owned and has been a part of the Homerville, Clinch County community for many years. We make it a priority to know our clients on a personal basis and take pride in customizing insurance coverage for the particular needs of each customer. We offer all lines of insurance, including auto, home, business, life insurance, annuities, and bonds. Lutz, Brown, Pigler, and Manley Insurance Agency, East Dame Avenue, Homerville. Go Panthers! For the best pizza and wings in town any day of the week, check out Huey's One Stop in Homerville. Drop by, fuel up, and let Mr. Nick Patel and staff serve you some mouth-watering pizza and wings that you won't soon forget. Or just take that favorite pizza and box of wings home. Call 912-487-2338 to order your pizza and wings every Friday night after the game. Huey's One Stop, 193 Church Street, Homerville. Lee Engineering and Construction Company in DuPont, Georgia has been a part of the community since 1935 and is proud to support Clinch County athletics. The prayer of the entire Lee Engineering family is that our Lord and Savior will richly bless our schools, community, and nation. Since 1972, Popeyes has been serving up mouth-watering, delicious, hot, and mild fried chicken and chicken tenders from its Louisiana kitchen. You know about our great chicken, but have you tried our tasty seafood? All of our menu items come with a Southern style all their own. On your way to or after the game, stop by Popeyes and remember we can handle all your special event catering needs. Conveniently located on Memorial Drive in Waycross, Popeyes puts a piece of Louisiana in every single meal. Camping World of Valdosta, located in Lake Park, is your one-stop destination for all your camping needs. Stop by to see your dreams of quality time with your family become a reality. Whether it's tailgating with your air-conditioned camper, taking a trip to the mountains or beach with your family, or driving your motorhome to a faraway destination, Camping World has it all. Let us put you and your family in a camper for as little as $99 per month. And remember, when you buy a camper from Camping World of Valdosta, you receive a free Elite Good Sam membership, roadside assistance, and travel assist for 1 year.
And then along came Walker Jones.
You know Walker Jones is the automotive superstore. But did you know we're also the Super Service Center? That's right. With more than 56 bays, Walker Jones does as much service on all major brands as all the other service centers in town combined. And we're loaded with experienced professional ASC certified mechanics to get the job done right the first time.
Hey, I'm Jim, coming down to see us for service at the home of the lifetime warranty. Lifetime.
With the candidates for sheriff, we'll start right here with Mr. Tinsley. We'll give them all an opportunity to introduce themselves, speak a little bit about themselves and what their platform might be, and just let them say what they need to say before we get started with the questions.
You talking about turning it on? All right. So anyway, my name's Stephen Tinsley, and I grew up here in Clinch County. Went to high school here. Got on with the sheriff's office here and worked. And then I wanted to better myself and better my career and learn new ideas and have new adventures and support my family. So I went and got a job with the Georgia Bureau of Investigations after working with them here in Clinch County on several investigations. Learned how to work an array of cases from murders to homicides, just working death investigations and burglaries and corruptions and things of that matter. I moved off to the Drug Enforcement Administration, served the last 22 years with that, and came back 2.5 years ago after I retired.
Hello, I'm Sheriff Raymond Peterson. I'm married to Crystal Smith Peterson, and we enjoy raising our daughter Raylyn, and we do this right here in Clinch County. I've had the pleasure of serving you all for the past 20 years right here in Clinch. I have always had and always will have an open door policy. If any citizens has a question or would like to just drop by and just talk for a while, I'm easily reached. Here are some of the things I would like to share with everybody about the Sheriff's Office. The average law enforcement experience at Clinch County SO is over 20 years. As compared to surrounding agencies our size and only 7 to 10 years of experience, that says a lot about our citizens here and the deputies who serve them. Over the past 4 years, there has been a lot of changes in our nation, our state, and our county. Some good, some not so good. My team of deputies strive every day to make Clinch County a better place to live and raise our families, from traffic enforcement to in-depth investigations. I'm proud to say I live in Clinch County and will always serve the citizens of Clinch County.
Good evening. My name's John Davis. I was born and raised here in Clinch County. Marion and I have been married for 33 years. We have 3 children and 2 grandsons. I'm a proud veteran of the United States Air Force. I have a college degree in criminal justice from Vidal State University. And I just retired March 1st after spending 30 years in state law enforcement, retiring with Department of Community Supervision. We looked at over 1,000 cases in the Lap Hall Circuit and covered over 2,000 square miles in the Lap Hall Circuit, which included all 5 counties. I was on the rec board for 20 years, where I served the last 12 as a chairman. And I've been on the school board for 8 years, where I served the last 4 as chairman. I feel like I've got the education, the experience, and the leadership abilities to put a team of staff and officers together here in Clinch County that will protect and serve all of the citizens in Clinch County. And I look forward to doing that. I appreciate your prayers and thank everyone for their support.
My name is Tom Kennedy. I'm running for sheriff of Clinch County. I'm married to Emily Kennedy, and today is actually our 18th anniversary. So we've got twin boys that are 14, Thomas and Taylor, and a little girl, Ella Catherine, who's 10. My main goal for the Sheriff's Department is to make Clinch County a better and safer place to live and to raise our families. My goal of doing that, well, the main thing I want to do by doing that is using our greatest asset that Clinch County has. That greatest asset is the citizens of Clinch County. I'll make sure that our Sheriff's Department creates a better, stronger relationship between the Sheriff's Department and the citizens of Clinch County to achieve that goal. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. I want to thank Farm Bureau, Creek Box TV, Clinch County News, and WBTY for hosting this tonight. Thank you.
All right, we'll just leave it down there and start with you, Tom. We finished up with the county commissioners talking about the jail, and I said we was going to move it on to y'all, so we'll give y'all a moment here to talk what your opinion is on the current jail situation and your opinions on if you think we need one here, or are you happy with the situation that's going on right now?
I'd love to have a jail in Clinch County. It creates jobs for the food service industry. But the facts is that the last time we had a jail and now, the difference is not quite $200,000. If you look at one line item of a budget, yeah, the difference is $200,000. It's costing over $400,000 to pay Coffee County to house our inmates. But when you look at the insurance for the jailers that we have to have more jailers now than we did 4 years ago. When you take all that into account, it's probably taken maybe an extra $50,000 or $75,000 a year to house our inmates in Coffee County. But what's not taken into account with that is we have to build a new jail. If we build a new jail, it's going to cost millions of dollars. To fix the jail we've got now, it's going to cost $1 million to $2 million to fix it. So it's not necessarily whether you want it or not, but we're going to have to look at it and figure out what's best for the taxpayers of Clinch County and see if we can afford to build a new jail or to fix our old jail. Thank you.
Okay, and with the jail, I heard the county commissioners put some figures out there, and Tom just discussed it as well. I don't think you can explain to a taxpayer that it's going to cost you over $200,000 a year to house your inmates in Coffee County. And that's not counting gas, not counting wear and tear on your vehicle, taking the officer not only out of the county, but out of the circuit. You've got to go get your inmates when you have court once a month. So I think we need to look at options of at least getting our inmates back in the circuit and hopefully back in the county. Now, Tri-County Jail would be wonderful. You could split the cost 3 ways. Building a new jail, I think, would be an option, but we're going to have to look at it sooner or later. We can't keep housing our inmates outside the circuit and the taxpayers having to eat that money. So we're going to have to look at it for sure.
The topic of the jail has been an exhausting one. I've heard a lot about what other candidates would do about the jail if elected. Let me take a moment and explain the choice that I had to make to close our jail. The cost to bring our current jail up to current regulations would be over $1 million. The cost to build a new facility would be between $5 and $6 million. The cost to staff the jail at current regulations would be $620,460. Correction officers, 16 officers at $9.25 an hour would be $307,840. Benefits for those officers would be $160,000. Medical staff over $100,000. Meal for average inmate population 36 to 40 would be $52,560. County match retirement and workers' compensation, this amount depends on employee. This has not included the cost of the jail maintenance and electricity. When I decided to close our aged jail, it was for the best interest of Clinch County's taxpayers, the safety of those taxpayers and the safety of those who had to be incarcerated. Here's what the current inmate housing costs Clinch County taxpayers. $434,100 total annual cost to house in other jurisdictions. This is a minimum saving of $96,300 of your tax money saved. I've heard all the other candidates speak about how they were going to open the jail, but what I haven't heard is how they plan on doing this without costing taxpayers a lot more money.
The figures that are being thrown out here are based on the figures that are being thrown out here are based on the activity of the sheriff's office with today's accounts or this past year's accounts. Obviously, with the county commissioners have been discussing new industry coming here, new businesses. Therefore, that's going to create more crime and just in attrition, and therefore we will need more jail space, and the cost is going to continue to rise regardless of what the current situation is. We are going to have to address this in the future. I plan to get with the county commissioners, get with other jails, get with other sheriff's offices, and make a decision and go forward with it, whatever it is to benefit our taxpayers and our community here in Clinch County.
All right, next question. We'll start here with Mr. Stephen. To the candidates, what will you do to tackle our growing meth opiate problem in our community? And for Sheriff Peterson, would just address it, what your opinion is on
it. This is an area that of my expertise. For the last 22 years, I've been a special agent with the Drug Enforcement Administration as well as a supervisor, handling hundreds of agents and officers, local task force officers, to address just this issue. The plans that I would do would be to identify the people who are involved in it, the organizations that are involved in it, not just the people using and the people on the street corners selling it. I'm talking about the people who's manufacturing it and distributing it to our community. And then you would come up with a game plan, and I would use resources that I've worked with through the past 29 years of law enforcement and get them to come assist us in making that problem go away. It can be done. I've done it in other communities throughout the United States. It just takes an initiative and a desire to make it happen.
The drug problem in Clinch County is a major issue to me and my department. In the past, it was a lot easier to catch drug dealers because they manufactured and grew the drugs locally. Nowadays, methamphetamines is a worldwide epidemic. Hardly anyone cooks meth anymore. Almost all the recent meth cases made in our jurisdiction has been crystal ice. Crystal is manufactured in other countries and smuggled into the United States and then transported to communities such as ours. I have also been asked about the opioid problem or prescription pill problems. This problem is derived from what we call pill clinics or pill farms. This is when a clinic prescribes someone way more medication than what is necessary to help in the healing process. We work closely with the GBI and other jurisdictions in an attempt to stop this from happening. But a lot of medications are mail ordered and from other countries. Along with use of illegal drugs comes other crimes such as burglaries and thefts. These crimes are committed to help the addicted drug users supply their habit. My office does a great job at investigating those thefts, recovering property, and making arrests of those who commit the crimes. I had the opportunity to listen to one of the candidates state that jails is not the best place for everyone who commits crimes, and I agree with this. But with over 20 years of experience in our community, I see a failing rehabilitation system. It has been my experience with repeat offenders that you can only rehabilitate the ones who want to make a positive change. Drugs are now and have been a serious problem. I have recently began working hand in hand with several federal agencies to rid our community of these repeat offenders, to include the U.S. Marshals and the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
I think the drug problem in Clinch County is a major problem, and we've had issues with it for a long time. We hadn't, as far as I can see and know, we hadn't worked drugs on a daily basis in over 10 years. What our current administration has been a reactive agency. So the only thing they do is they react when something happens. We've got to be proactive. We've got to get ahead of these issues. You got to work drugs on a daily basis, whether you may not make an arrest the next 2 or 3 months, but you'll have the information you need to make good arrests when you do. You just got to stay on top of it. You just can't react when something happens. I've been with the probation division for the last 30 years, and I've been able to work close enough with all 5 sheriffs that I see what everyone's doing and everyone's not doing, and what's working and what's not working. We're just not doing anything here. And, you know, that goes back to our jail costs. When we start being proactive, then our jail cost is going to go up. It's only going to increase. So, you know, our cost of taking inmates to Coffee Jail is only going to increase when you get a sheriff in there that's proactive.
All right, obviously it is a problem for Clinch County, it's a problem for Georgia, it's a problem for the United States. One thing that we're going to have to do is we are going to have to work with other agencies to fight this problem in Clinch County, the opioid problem, the methamphetamine problem. You've got to work together. You've got to bring in other agencies to help, and you've got to work. You've got to start early. You got to stay late. You can't just work 8 to 5. The other step to that is we've also got to educate our young people. We've got to educate the citizens of Clinch County. A lot of problems start with a young child getting drugs out of their parents' medicine cabinet or their grandparents' medicine cabinet. You've got to educate these kids. You've got to educate these parents, because the main goal is not to lock up more people for doing it. The main goal is for there to be less people that need locking up for doing it. And the way to do that is you've got to start with them young with the education program. Thank you.
We'll leave it down there. Some municipalities within the cities and counties have a consolidated law enforcement forces, and some of them will have specific officers, 1 or 2 designated that's, I guess, partially funded by the city and partially funded by the county. Would you be in favor of such of that partnering with the city of Homerville for some consolidated law enforcement?
Yeah, several years ago, we had a drug task force that we had the city provided an employee and the county provided an employee. It didn't work out the greatest in the world. I would like to revisit that and try to make that work. There was also a drug task force that was for several counties, and Clinch County and the city of Homerville provided funds for that. That was one of the last times where we were working together with other counties fighting the drug problem. We've got to find a way to fund that program because it is expensive. It takes lots of manpower, it takes lots of equipment, and all of that is expensive. So you've got to find the right way to fund that and to make that happen.
I think with the limited budget that we have here in Clinch County, which is, the case in a lot of your small rural counties, you have to partner up with other folks. You have to use all the resources available to you. I think it's something as far as consolidating city-county government as a whole, not just law enforcement. I think it's something that we can look at and do a cost analysis on to see if it's something where Clinch County can save some money. But for sure, consolidating city and county law enforcement, I think would be a good thing, save a lot of money, and you could, combine your resources.
I have no problem combining the city and county. We work well with the city now, so putting it all together would make sense. But you have to go through a lot of channels to do that, and it costs a lot to do it. But I haven't got any problems with doing it because, like I said, we all work good together as it is now.
My take on this question is no. The answer is no. I do not agree with consolidating the county and the city law enforcement functions. The reason I say no is because the Georgia Sheriff's Association is totally against that. Giving up the authority as the sheriff, I would have to give up my law enforcement authority, and as a county, the county would have to fund a new chief police of the county police, which is have to create a whole new position. And as sheriff, I would only be involved with the court and the daily activity of it and the security of it, and then the jail. And obviously we already have an issue with the jail here in this county, so I hope to get that jail back here. And so right now, if we did that, like the sheriff said, if we did it and went through the steps to make that happen, the only thing we would have as a sheriff's office or as sheriff that I would be responsible for would be the courtroom and getting people back into the courtroom. The enforcement side of the house would be completely taken away from us, and I do not agree with that. My experience has been for the last 29 plus years, I've been an investigator, a deputy, a special agent with 2 different agencies, and my job has been to investigate crimes, put people in jail, put people who belong in jail in there, not people that don't belong or you're just doing it for political reasons or what they're, they don't have a certain last name that can't be put in jail. We need a law enforcement agency in this county that we're going to enforce respectfully and provide service and provide protection and provide safety to our counties. The taxpayers are our biggest concern. I'm one of them. I don't want to waste my resources. I have experience in working with other law enforcement agencies to accomplish a goal that we set as an investigation task. And we can get the resources, we just have to ask for it and work together. I'm not at all against working together in a task force atmosphere with people from the city, with people from the county, with the state, the federal government, wherever. But I am against consolidating the city and county law enforcement. I will be the first to go meet with the chief of police if elected, and we will definitely have a strong working relationship. But I do not want to give that authority. I don't want that authority taken away from the sheriff's position in the sheriff's office, because I think that the sheriff's office is here to protect and serve, and that's what I will do as sheriff.
Thank you. Talk a little bit about experiences you have concerning a budget and your staff management.
Like I said, with 29 years of law enforcement experience, I have worked with hundreds and hundreds, literally, of different agencies, from police departments, sheriff's offices, throughout the United States, in Mexico, in Colombia, in Europe. I have been there. I have had to struggle to find resources and funds to work cases that the type of cases that we work have, you have to generate funding before you can go forward. We can do nothing without having a plan and a task identified, a goal to meet, and funding to make it happen. I have strong expertise in gaining those funds from working as a team with whatever agency we choose to work with. I also have been a supervisor for approximately 8 years now on the federal level, and I had my own office. I had a yearly budget of about $1.5 million. I have personally oversaw building a new facility, and it cost an additional $1.6 million just for that building and redoing a building. So I know how to work a budget. I had vehicles to accrue and take care of, and that's just what I've done. And I got the expertise to do it, and that will be no issue.
I've been with the Sheriff's Department for 20 years here in Clinch County. I've been the sheriff for 3 years, so I've had to do a budget for 3 years. I work real good with the commissioners to keep the budget low where the taxes don't go up for the citizens of Clinch County. You have to work with your commissioners and your citizens to do your job. So as far as the budget and vehicles, we get vehicles through Splosh. It don't come out of the taxpayers' money. It comes out of Splosh, which is everybody coming through. So we got a good budget. We work good with commissioners, and I want to keep it that way.
And like I was saying earlier, I just retired with 30 years' experience with Georgia Department of Corrections and Pardons and Parole Board. I was was fortunate to be promoted to the top position at the end of my career in 2014 as a chief probation officer. Like I say, we had over 1,000 active cases in 5 counties, and we covered over 2,000 square miles. I had over 10 to 12 officers in that agency and 10 vehicles that we looked after. And we had several $100,000 budget that we had to manage. I've also had to manage a good budget with the school board. I think our budget last year was around $10 million. Also, I was on the rec board for 20 years, where we had to deal with about $100,000 budget. So I've got a lot of experience in managing people and managing budgets.
I've been mayor for Homerville for the past 6 years, and I was on the council for 4 years before that, and I was on the rec park board a couple years before that. I've managed budgets. I know how to manage a budget, and it's not always just about managing budgets. You've also got to get creative in ways of finding revenues. They are paying for the trucks and the vehicles out of the splost account, which doesn't come out of the tax base, the local tax base. It comes from everyone that comes through Clinch County. But one of the things we can do is we can apply for grants. Overseeing the police department as mayor and on the city council in the last 10 years, we've gotten grants to help pay for employee salaries. We've gotten grants to help pay for vehicles. We've gotten grants to help pay for bulletproof vest. $12,000 worth of vests cost us $1,200. So it's not just about managing the budget, but it's about getting creative and finding ways to bring in extra revenue. And so I've got a lot of experience with that and managing people. And so thank you.
All right, next question, Tom, while you got it down there, this one is directed specifically at you. It says, you're the only one without prior direct law enforcement experience. What would you say makes you more qualified for the position?
Well, it kind of makes me uniquely qualified, Barry. It's time to do things a different way. The training that it takes to be the sheriff, as far as law enforcement training, I can get that just like everybody else has. What I've got leadership experience. I've got leadership experience for being the mayor for 6 years and being the city council for 4 years. I've got leadership experience before that. I've managed my own business. I've helped manage the family business. So as far as management skills, leadership skills, I've got that. Those leadership skills that I've developed by being mayor and city council has helped me work with the citizens of Clinch County. And that's what being sheriff is about. It's not just always about enforcing the law, but it's about being there for the citizens of Clinch County. And if elected sheriff, I will be there for the citizens of Clinch County and help them where it's needed, and not just take a reactive approach to it, but I'll take a proactive approach and get involved more, have our sheriff department involved more with our community and with the citizens of Clinch County.
All right. To the candidates, if you're elected, how many deputies and staff would you bring on, and what would the cost be to the county? And to Sheriff Peterson, how many deputy and staff do you have, and what is that cost to the county?
Starting with me? Yes, sir. All right. Well, right now we currently have 13 or 14 employees total for the sheriff's department as a whole. 8 or 9 of those are deputies. I don't know the exact number, but I do know that with all those 13 or 14 employees, the payroll for the sheriff's department is around $400,000 and something a year. Now, when you add the insurance benefits to that, adds another $150,000 to that. So you're up there around $600,000 a year just for payroll for the sheriff's department. I think that we've got a great staff with the Sheriff's Department. We've got great deputies. We've got a great office staff with the Sheriff's Department. I think they're doing a good job. I think that we can change the management skills of the Sheriff's Department and what's going on with the management side. But as far as employees go, I think they're doing a great, fantastic job. And I don't think that we need to add more employees to that, because when you add more employees, for each employee, you're adding around $40,000 per employee just in salary and benefits. If the salary's around $28,000 to $30,000, and then insurance is around $10,000 to $12,000 per employee, that's just the salaries. Then you've got to buy more vehicles, and it costs more gas. I don't think that we need to add more employees when the ones we have now are doing a great job.
Obviously, if you got new leadership that comes in, you're going to have some positions to fill. You know, the job of the Sheriff's Department is to protect and serve the citizens of this county. Obviously, you want to work well with your county commissioners on your budget to keep it as low as possible. But the ultimate goal is to protect and serve the citizens of this county. So, you know, there may be times when we may need to add some officers or some support staff. You know, I think a lot of the problems that we have now in the Sheriff's Department, you know, is just leadership. You know, being involved with what's going on and being proactive, you know, not just reactive.
Right now, my budget is $538,622. I have 6 road deputies, 1 investigator, and 1 resource school officer. We have another resource officer that falls up under me, but the school board pays for it. We got another road deputy that helps with investigation. So, and altogether, we got 9 deputies. We all got vehicles. They do a good job. They cover the county, and they're well respected. The people know them because they've been here for 20 to 30 years, to most of them. So I wouldn't change anything. Would I love to have more deputies cover the county more? Yes, but we do a good job. We work good with the commissioners, and everything works out good for us.
I've been making my way around this county visiting with the citizens for the last 4 to 5 months now. I beg to differ with what the sheriff just said. His citizens do not respect the law enforcement here in this community. The reason being is because some of the deputies have, I've been told that they act disrespectful, they act unappreciative, they act like it's a bother if they have to go answer a call. As sheriff, I will make sure that my deputies are well trained. I will make sure that they do their job. I will make sure that this county is covered with deputies, you know, throughout the night. Fargo is a place that needs a deputy full time, not one that is up here in Cogdale or DuPont and gets called and go to Fargo. I'm going to work with the county commissioners and come up with a plan with our resources to make it happen, to provide coverage for this county. I've been here for 2.5 years now, and I've yet to see a deputy on my road. And that is the same sentiment that I'm receiving from other people in the community. Now, I can't say that I'm there all the time, but you would think in 2.5 years I would see one. I will use whatever resources that are given to me from the county commissioners. I will work within those resources. I will take my knowledge and my experience and get other resources that won't cost our taxpayers money. I don't need a new truck or new car to ride around in. I will be managing and provide a newer vehicle to my deputies. We definitely need, I'm going to say, 2 more deputies, 1 in investigations, to bring that up to a total of 2, because we are going to be generating cases that will require additional people. If I can't get it, you know, month 1, within 6 months, we're going to work under my management, and we're going to produce stats to show the citizens that we can seize assets that will benefit this county if you get out there and work and patrol and have people in place to do it. That's it. All comes down to how the resources and employees that you have working for you are managed and supervised and held accountable. We have to have a sheriff's office that's got integrity and character daily, and we need to strive as a sheriff's office to make each citizen, regardless of what part of the county they're in, feel that way. And I just know that I have the experience, the management skills, the desire, and the heart to serve Clinch County and just to make it a better place by providing that service. That is the main goal. I want to provide service to the citizens of this county.
All right, and this will be our final question. Said, with the recent COVID-19 pandemic, we have seen a lot of instances of executive orders being issued by mayors of towns and governors and counties that seem to, I guess, override the law of the land, the Constitution of the state and of the U.S. What is your opinion would be as sheriff of enforcing these executive orders like we have seen throughout in the news throughout what's been going on here lately?
I assume you're talking about other orders besides just the COVID-19.
Yeah, like, you know,
okay.
Not allowing, kicking people out of church and, things you've seen. I know that some is very isolated. Thankfully, nothing like that's happened around here, but we have seen that in some cases. And
first off, as a leader of Clinch County, I would be in a position to hopefully have the citizens' respect. I would have to work hard and get that respect. Furthermore, executive orders are sent down from legislators and governors and, president to the governor and then to our county leaders. We have to use common sense when dealing with these things. If an executive order comes down and it don't make no sense for Clinch County, then we have to come up with a better solution by working with the governor or whoever sent that executive order down here to address our concerns and show him and prove to him or her that it don't apply in a situation here in Clinch County. Now, I'm all about doing whatever the governor says as far as providing guidance and keeping our citizens safe. One executive order or an executive decision that might be sent down in the future is like them telling us to come take your guns away. That's not going to happen. There is a medical issues and medical reasons for us to come take a gun from a family member or a person, but that's for his protection, his or her protection, and yours as well. But it just like the governor saying, come get the guns from all your citizens. It's not going to happen, and I wouldn't go for it.
As sheriff, you have to follow these orders. You have to kind of do what the governor says to do. As he said, you got to do it respectfully. You go to the citizens and you talk to them and ask them to not do it, and they have respect for you and they don't do it. We haven't had any problems with any of our citizens not doing what we ask. They know the law, they know what the governor puts out there, so they respect us enough to do what we ask and what the governor of Georgia asks. And as far as guns, you can't choose what orders you'll do, what laws you'll do. But as sheriff, you can say when you're going to do them and when you're not. So I wouldn't just go out there and take anybody's guns, because I got guns of my own and I wouldn't want no one to take them.
I think the main thing is you got to use good common sense and good judgment. Again, it goes back to building that respect with the community and building that integrity within the sheriff's department. You can work with your citizens to try to make whatever the executive order that comes down happen. And as far as the executive orders, as long as they don't supersede, your constitutional amendments, I think you'll be fine. But it's just working together and using common sense.
Well, it's like everyone else has said. We've got to use common sense solutions to law enforcement problems. Clinch County has I think the main but things that we faced with Clinch County with this COVID-19 is social distancing. There's been lots of times where there's too many people gathering at one place. I think if we go back to better educating our people, just last week, out of the last 57 results that the hospital has received back, 25 people in Clinch County have tested positive out of those 57 results. That's 43%. So COVID-19 is not going away. It's here, and every day more people's getting tested, and we're getting more and more positive results back. So what we're going to have to do to that is we just have to use common sense solutions in it, and it goes back to respect. And Barry, I don't think I'll ever go and lock anybody up in church. That's going to church. We're not going to kick them out of church, and I don't think anybody else up here would either. But I think we just, like I said, we've got to use common sense solutions to these approaches. Thank you.
All righty, that concludes our questioning for the sheriff and the candidates. We'll give you another last 30 seconds. Any other final closing words or comments for the people watching and listening?
Once again, I want to thank everyone for being here. Creekbox TV, the news office, WBTY, and Farm Bureau, and Barry, I appreciate what you've done tonight. Y'all have done a great job, and everybody that got everything ready today. I want to thank everybody for being up here, Sheriff Peterson and Stephen and John. It's been a good night. One thing I want you to go away with, I've been a leader of this community for over 10 years. I know what it takes to help the people of this community. Being a sheriff isn't just about locking somebody up. It's about being there for the citizens of Clinch County. And I'm going to take my leadership experience and I'm going to be there. I'm going to make sure our sheriff's department is there for the community and for Clinch County. Thank you.
And like Tom said, I'd just like to thank everybody for coming and being a part of this program, and appreciate Farm Bureau for putting it on, and Creekbox. I'd just like to tell everyone that I've spent the last 30 years in law enforcement. I have the leadership abilities, I have the experience, I have the education that it takes. But it's not all about just toting a badge and a gun. It's not all about law and order. It's about loving your community and using the platform that you've got to bring your community together and build your community. I've got a lot of ideas, visions for the Sheriff's Department. I feel like I can do great things with it. I just appreciate everyone for allowing me to come by and visit and talk with them and get their ideas and suggestions, because I don't know it all. But it's a team effort. Just like to thank everybody for that.
I'd just like to thank everybody that's here and supported me over the years, and everybody that's having us here. I feel there's always room for improvement in anything we do. Is there room for improvement at your sheriff's office? Absolutely. Could things be better in our community? Absolutely. If re-elected sheriff, do I intend on making some changes? Absolutely. Are the changes I will make for the better? I sure hope so. I intend on keeping my relationship with the citizens as open and honest as possible. I have never promised something I couldn't deliver, and don't intend on changing that. I look forward to finish raising my child and enjoy grandchildren right here in Clinch County. I have a high degree of integrity and a strong family-oriented morale. I look forward to helping everyone that I can with anything that I can. I strive to be a better person and a better Christian every day. With your support and vote, we can make Clinch County an even better place to live, work, retire, and enjoy every day. I have a 2016 truck that I got when I was a deputy, and I still drive it. And Stephen, I've had several deputies tell me they've been by your house because they tell me what you're doing to it and what it looks like. So I know deputies that's been by your house. But anyway, I appreciate your support and vote. Thank you, Sheriff Raymond Peterson.
Again, I would just like for you to look at my experience, look at the fact that I've actually been a law enforcement officer who has put thousands of people in jail for bad crimes that they deserve to be sent there. I have also been very compassionate with their families that were left behind and made sure that their needs were taken care of while their loved one was incarcerated, serving whatever period of time they had. I am a very compassionate man, but I have pride in being a law enforcement officer and the 30-year career that I've had, and I would love to use my experience and expertise to make Clinch County a better place and to have our sheriff's office one of the most respected ones in the nation. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you, candidates. This concludes our 2020 political forum. We would like to thank all the candidates that came here with us this evening and was willing to go through this and answer the questions. We'd like to thank Creekbox for broadcasting it, for the Clinch County News for reporting it. We'd like to thank everyone that submitted questions for the forum. And just a reminder, early voting begins May 18th. Please get out, support these candidates, make your choice, and go vote for them. And thank you all for coming. Have a good night, and God bless.
You're watching Creekbox TV.